Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we'll be talking about my next lesson, or time signatures and other miscellaneous symbols. So to start off talking about time signatures, let's talk about the two numbers on the time signature itself, which in this case will be 4-4. So the top number is how many beats are in each measure, and the bottom number is what note gets the count. So the bottom is a little bit more complicated, so I'll go in a bit more detail on that. So since it's 4, a quarter note would get the count. But you might ask, oh wait a minute, what is a quarter note? And I forgot to mention that too. So before we get into time signatures, we have to get into rhythms. So in this measure, you're gonna have to stick with me with this one. But there'll be 4 beats in this measure. Okay, I know that doesn't make the most sense right now, but trust me on this one. Now we're going to talk about all these different type of notes. So first, we have this like oval looking thing. That's a whole note, and that will take up 4 counts. Next up, we have half notes, which will take up 2 counts. Next, we have quarter notes, which this time signature is based on. So it takes 4 quarter notes in each measure. Next, we have eighth notes, which there will be 8 in this measure. Then we have 16th notes, then 32nd notes, 64th notes, 128th notes, if those exist, and so on. Next, we have to talk about tempo. So basically, it's how fast it's going to go. So how fast, like, each quarter note in this measure I have on the screen will be. So basically, it could be as slow as 1, 2, 3, 4, or you even be like faster, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you know? So it varies. And to finish off this little section on tempos, I'm going to be naming off all the tempo markings that you'll see when you read music. So at like the slowest like you'll ever see, they'll call it larghissimo, which is usually for 20 clicks and slower. Next we have lento, which is for around 40 to 60 clicks. Another one that they'll use is called largo, which is used for basically like, it's like a synonym for lento. It's gonna be for around like 40 to 60 clicks. And then we have larghetto, which translates to rather broadly, which is for tempos 60 to 66. And then next up we have adagio, which is a little faster than larghetto, but it's going to be more chill, at ease, as it translates to. So that will be tempos 66 to 76. Then if you go a little bit faster, you'll get adagietto, which is slower, but 70 to 80 clicks. And then next up we have andante, which is, it's slower. It's like more in the middle. Like if you're gonna go walking at a park, it'd be that kind of speed, which is like 76 to 108 clicks. Then you start to get a little bit faster, like we're in moderato right now, and that one's for 101 to 110 clicks. Then next up we have allegro moderato, which is moderately quick, as it translates to, and that is to 112 to 124 beats, or clicks, whatever. So next we have allegro, which is faster, and it'll be 129 to 139 clicks. And then we have vivace, which is lively and fast, so that one will be probably like 140 to like 167-ish clicks. Then we get even faster to presto, which from the name itself, you already know it's fast. And it'll be 168 to around 200 clicks. And prestissimo is the fastest tempo marking. So anything more than 200 clicks is prestissimo. It's the fastest. Sorry for all that like random stuff that you're probably not making sense of right now, since you're like, isn't this video for time signatures? And to know about time signatures and to be able to read them in music, you have to know about tempos and rhythms. Now, with all that out of the way, we can finally get into time signatures. Okay, so let's go back to where we were. So 4/4, or they also call it common time. The top shows that 4 beats are in each measure, and the bottom 4 shows that the quarter note would get the beat. So each click from the metronome would be for the quarter note. Now you may be wondering, what happens if you like change them? And let's get into that. So let's go into something a little bit more simple before we start changing like all of it. So let's try 3/4, or they also call it waltz time. So the quarter note would still get the beat since the 4 is at the bottom. However, there'll only be 3 beats this time. So instead of saying like 1, 2, 3, 4, you'll just say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, because it's a waltz. Now let's change that 3 to a 2, which it doesn't have a name like 3/4 does, but you can probably assume what's gonna happen. So instead of going like 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, it'll just go 1, 2, 1, 2. Pretty simple, and the quarter note still gets the beat. Now, what if we keep the 2 on the top of 2/4, and then change the 4 at the bottom to a 2? So let's take a moment to look at what we just made. So this is something called cut time, or I guess you could call it 2/2. So just like in 2/4, there's 2 beats in each measure. However, the half note will get the beat. So instead of counting the quarter notes, you'll count the half notes, but you still count as like 1, 2. But then you'd read everything like a bit faster. So since you read like the half notes as like quarter notes, the quarter notes would be just like an eighth note. Eighth note's just like 16. 16 is just like 30 seconds. So yeah, it'll be a little faster. It might throw you off the first time you see it. And then you can use that same logic for any other ones with the 2 at the bottom. So like 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, whatever. It'll more or less be the same thing. But let's try to shake it up completely. So we're gonna change the 2 at the top to a 6, and then we're gonna change the 2 at the bottom to an 8. And as you can see, we'll get 6, 8. So as we know from before, the 6 at the top means there are 6 beats in this measure. However, the beats will be on the 8th note. So this one I think might throw some people off because it's kind of weird. So this one's gonna be a bit more complicated because this one is a compound meter, which basically means it'll be divided into pulses. So instead of you going like 1, 2, 3, 4 like you normally would, you would like kind of pulse it a little bit. So you go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or like 1 lolly, 2 lolly. That type stuff. A good way to figure out like how many counts are in these compound meters is to divide the top number by 3. So since ours is 6, it'll be like 2 clicks on a metronome. So it'll be like 1, 2, 1, 2. You still have to subdivide it. But if you try a different one, like let's try 9/8. So now there'll be 3 clicks. So it'll be like 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 3 lolly. Or we could try 12/8, where it'd be 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 3 lolly, 4 lolly, and all that. So those are the main time signatures I wanted to cover in this video. So yeah, but I was thinking, because why not? Why don't we try reading some music? Because we know how to read bass and treble clef. We know how to count them. We know how to read tempo markings. And what did we cover in the last one? And we know how to read key signatures. So hypothetically, we should be able to read some music. So let's give it a shot. So right here we have a pretty simple song, and I know everybody in my audience should know. It's called Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and it's by Mozart. And this time we're going to be looking at an arrangement by Fabrizio Ferrari. There's no way that's that dude's name. But okay, let's before we start like looking at the actual notes, we should take a look around. So I'm gonna start off with this. We're gonna be looking at the top line only because I didn't teach you guys about the grand staff or whatever it's called, and it's almost midnight, so I'll not be doing that in this video. So yeah, and then if we look to our left at our key signature, we can see that this is in the key of G. And if we look at the top, it says it's Allegretto, which the tempo is going to be around 100 to around 120 clicks. So if you try to play this at home, if you play between those like two tempos, you should be good. So yeah. Now, as you can see, there are a bunch of like little like letters on it, which don't worry about those for now. Those are like, I think those are like for chords. And I mean, if you look at the bottom, you'll see that the bass has the root and all that to all these chords. And I'll even play like A minor. But before we play it at the Allegretto tempo, a good tip for if like you look at music like, ooh, this looks a little scary, you should play at a slower tempo so that you can get like the rhythms and stuff down and all that. So yeah, so I'm gonna try to play this on my little keyboard I have in the studio, aka my desk. And I'm not a pianist, so if I like, it looks like I'm like using my wrong fingers, my bad. I don't really understand any of that. So yeah. Okay, take 3. I'm playing this at metronome equals 100 whatever. I'm gonna be playing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and yeah. There we go. I don't know why it took me so long. But yeah, it was back to my normal mic. So be sure to try that out at home or with just any music in general, because now you should be able to read music and hopefully play it, sing it, whatever. So that'll do it for this video. I don't really have anything to say this in this video. I'm sorry I didn't post last week, because last week I was getting ready for a big video I have coming up. And I mean bigger than these videos. You feel me? Because this one I actually had to do research for. It was interesting researching for. It kind of goes to show I don't know a lot about world history. But yeah. So stay awesome and stay skibbity. See ya.